Hi, my name is Ciaran.
My name's Rob.
And we're going to give you a video blog on remarketing lists for search ads. So we're just going to start with a bit of an introduction into what we're going to do today. We're going to first off look at some AdWords problems, then we're going to look at remarketing lists for search ads and some recent Google Analytics updates. We'll talk to you about some RLSAs and audience building before going through how you create an audience and what kind of benefits you can expect from RLSAs before we finish up with some further developments with RLSAs in recent days. So for those of you that have access to your analytics, I'm pretty sure that you'll agree that AdWords is, if not the most important source of conversions, but then the second most important source of conversions, probably behind Google Organic. So we all know that AdWords is a very valuable source of traffic and conversions, but it would be remiss of us to stand here and tell you that AdWords isn't without its problems. So what we're going to talk to you about is some AdWords problems first, and then some of the great innovations recently that have been brought out to tackle these problems. So the first problem that we look at is what we call a leaky bucket. So this is if you have a defined budget where you're not able to cover all the searches available for your keywords. So to kind of demonstrate what this looks like, we've taken a screenshot from Google Analytics of a path to purchase, and the one that I've highlighted here shows that in this instance one user has come in and they've made a number of different searches. In this case 6 searches in paid search, a referral, another paid search, some direct purchases, then some paid search visits again. So if you have a defined budget, there's a possibility that you're missing out on some of these searches and that you then have a leaky bucket where you're not going to capture all the searches and then potentially miss out on that purchase. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is what we call the generic keyword conundrum. So here you might be able to make out some keywords like restaurant, cardigan and jeans. So these are very much generic keywords. They're keywords that are going to be very relevant to your business, but which are going to be further up the purchase funnel, drive lots of traffic, but will have a lower conversion rate. To kind of emphasize this a little bit further, we have another example. So if you're a clothes retailer, then the keyword clothes online is very much going to be an important keyword for you, but it's going to drive lots of traffic but may not necessarily have the highest conversion rate. So that's an example of a generic keyword. The next problem I want to describe is, it's all to do with, I suppose, the context of the search. So just as around the world words are pronounced different, each word can have a different kind of intent and meaning behind it as well. And to illustrate that, we're looking at this keyword here, which is pizza. So this is one word keyword, but on Google we can see very much 3 different kind of results that are shown for it. So the first one here is for a pizza delivery place, for Domino's. The second one here is for a recipe and the nutritional information for a pizza. And the third one then is for restaurants around the Dublin area. So one word can have 3 different meanings. So AdWords can find it a little bit difficult at times to understand the intent or the reason behind the search. So if I was to encapsulate all these problems, I suppose, with AdWords, it would come down to, like the old Bee Gees song, it's only words. So there's no way to move beyond the meaning of the word up till now. So I'm going to hand you to Rob, who's going to talk to you about some recent innovations that help us tackle these problems, and I'll be back again to talk to you about some audience building at a later moment.
Thanks, Ciaran. So at Wolfgang, one of our biggest emphasis is on training, constantly upskilling. We always train from within. One of the biggest parts of this is every Tuesday afternoon, everyone in the company kind of comes around, gathers around the TV, and a couple of different people in the office are assigned to go through what's new in the industry, look at industry blogs, what's new with Google, Facebook, Twitter, all of the industry giants, and just see what new features have come out. Because we know that the people who are first to market with the newest features are the ones who are going to see the biggest benefits from this. One of the big developments that we've been following over the last number of years recently was remarketing. So originally remarketing worked by placing a small tag, a remarketing tag, a bit of code on your website, which allowed you to use cookies to track people who have been on your website. And you could then remarket to them, show them ads, follow them around the internet with display ads on the Google Display Network. You could break it down by what pages people have visited on your website, but you didn't have any insight into how people got to your website or what they did once they got to your website. So the next big development in terms of remarketing was remarketing lists for search ads. So these allowed us to use the same kind of technology with our remarketing tag and our cookies to remarket to people on Google search, so within the Google search engine results page. So we could actually target people with specific ads and specific bids, but again, this had its limitations. Now, it was during one of our Technical Insight Tuesdays on June 25th that we came across a blog post which was actually on the Google Analytics blog, which made us think that June 25th was going to be the day that changed AdWords forever. What it was this blog post here. So it's called Remarketing List for Search Ads powered by Google Analytics. So what this blog post told us was that we could now use our Google Analytics data to create these remarketing lists, which means that we have much more powerful information in terms of what people have done on the website, how they got there, and it removes the need for that remarketing tag as well. It was all just done through your Google Analytics essentially. So it meant that we could use all of these great segments that we already have within Google Analytics for reporting, the likes of your custom segments or just the default ones that come when you open a Google Analytics account. And we could use these no longer just for reporting, we can now use them for targeting people as well, which is really, really powerful. So I'm going to pass you back on to Ciaran now, who's going to talk to you about using these RLSAs to target different audiences, and then to take you through a couple of case studies as well.
Thanks, Rob. As Rob said, I'm going to talk to you about how we can use RLSAs to target different audiences. So we're all going to be quite familiar here with the purchase funnel, with the different stages of awareness, interest and action. We believe that digital marketing and RLSAs allow us to add another layer to that funnel, and that's through loyalty, and that's harnessing existing and current customers to drive incremental value for our business. What we're going to do now as well is just plot different audiences against the purchase funnel, and then we're going to show you some case studies on how we can use RLSAs to generate value from these audiences. So first up, we're going to plot website visitors against the awareness stage, then we're going to look at Facebook traffic in the interest stage, and then we're going to look at past purchases with action and repeat customers in the loyalty stage. So the first audience we're going to look at is website visitors, and this audience allows us to solve two of the problems that we mentioned earlier with the AdWords problems. The first is a generic keyword problem. So if we have an audience of website visitors, we know that these people are aware of our business and what we offer. So then this allows us to target these people when they return to search and make more generic keyword searches. Second problem is a leaky bucket. Again, similar to the keyword conundrum, if they've been to our website, they know what we offer. So we're able to target them every step of the way if we target these people as an audience. So we've done this for one of our clients, Brown Thomas. They are, as you know, an e-commerce retailer, and they sell a lot of cosmetic products. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of searches out there for cosmetic products. And we had a number of campaigns targeting these, and whilst we found that we were generating conversions, there just wasn't a sufficient conversion rate to justify going after so many generic keywords. So what we did was we overlaid this campaign with a remarketing list for search ad for previous website visitors, and straight off the bat the results that we saw were very, very impressive. We saw a conversion rate increase by 16 times versus the original campaign, and we saw our cost per conversion reduced by 94%. So straight off the bat we saw really great results from introducing remarketing lists for search ads. The next case study I want to talk to you about is Facebook visitors. So this is us defining an audience in analytics for people who have come to our website through Facebook traffic, and in particular Facebook CPC. So Rob will talk you through how you'd set up this audience at a later moment in this presentation. But I suppose we're all aware that social drives lots and lots of great traffic, but I suppose that traffic, they aren't actively searching for us, so social is known for its lower conversion rate. So what I'm going to talk to you now is an example of a case study for one of our clients, iClothing. So we're operating a number of Facebook campaigns, and in this example we're looking at a Facebook multi-product ad. A multi-product ad is an ad that has, as it says in the tin, a number of different products in it. So we have 5 different images, and then we're driving that traffic through to the website. The traffic is coming through to the website, we're capturing it as an audience, and then we're using that audience in a number of different ways. What we're doing first is we're remarketing to them on YouTube. So the audience have seen some ads for spring summer on Facebook, they've come through and looked at our website, the spring summer collection, and now they're seeing a video for spring summer on YouTube. So we're pushing them further down the funnel, and then we're targeting them now when they return to search and they're searching for keywords related to spring summer. We're showing them an ad that says, seen something you like on Facebook? Well, come now and shop at our summer sale. So the results we saw when we implemented this campaign were staggering, even more impressive than Brown Thomas. We saw our conversion rate increase by 165%. We saw our cost per conversion reduced by 84%, and we saw a massive ROAS of 51 to 1 on this campaign. So again, by adding an extra layer of an audience to our search campaigns, we're seeing incremental value with our campaigns. Next up, I'm going to talk to you about past purchasers and repeat customers. So in analytics, we can define an audience based on their purchasing behavior. So we can say we want to capture people who've made at least one purchase. We can also say we want to define an audience of people who've made multiple purchases, and then we can infer that these are repeat customers. We can also narrow the audience by saying we want to target people who've made 4 purchases in the last 3 months, and we can say that these people are actually loyal customers. On the flip side of that, we could also target people who haven't made a purchase in 6 months, and we could say that we're in danger of losing these people, and we want to aggressively target these on search. So to give a case study on this audience, another one of our clients, McElhinney's, we would have seen a lot of studies that indicate that current customers and repeat customers are going to convert at a better conversion rate. They're going to spend more money with us, and that they're a much more valuable source of revenue to us. And I suppose we went looking in McElhinney's Google Analytics account to see if we could see any data that backed this up, and indeed we did see that it looked like repeat customers were much more valuable to us. So I suppose we wanted to really put this to the test, and what we did was we created 2 campaigns, one campaign for past purchasers and the other campaign for non-purchasers, and they were basically the same campaign, same keywords, same ad groups, that kind of stuff, but the only difference was one was an audience of non-customers and the other was for past customers, and the results we saw were really impressive as well. We saw our conversion rate for customers increased by 324%. We saw the cost per conversion reduced by 75%. We saw our average order value was 9% higher for past customers than it was for non-customers, and we saw the return on ad spend of 4 times greater on the past customers than for non-customers. So really impressive results again when you overlay an audience on top of your search campaigns. Some other audiences that you may consider, you might looking at cart abandoners, so you know that people have added something to a cart but have not completed the purchase. When they return to search, you can target these people more aggressively and even offer them an incentive to return to your website and complete their conversion. You might also look at people who have visited a certain amount of pages or have viewed a certain amount of, or have been on your website for a certain amount of time, because these people are more engaged with your website. They've taken the time to navigate around it. They're very familiar, so you might say that they're engaged and that we want to bid more aggressively for these guys when they return to search. So I'm going to hand you back to Rob, who's going to take you through how you create an audience in Google Analytics and how you'd introduce that audience into Google AdWords.
Thanks, Ciaran. So yeah, I'm going to take you how to actually create these audiences, and then a couple of reasons why you want to create them and why you should implement them on your own accounts. So the first thing you have to do, and I can't emphasize this enough, because if you don't do this, none of the other stuff will be available to you. You have to go in and you have to opt in to the remarketing for Google Analytics. So you go to the admin tab of your Google Analytics, you go down to tracking info, data collection, and then when you see that remarketing switch, just make sure that's turned on. If you don't do that, you won't even have the option to create the audiences, so make sure you do that before you do anything else. Once you do, go back to your admin tab and click on remarketing down the bottom there, and then click into the audiences section. Once you've done that, you'll be given these 2 drop-down boxes. So the first one, where it says view, is essentially the Google Analytics view. So where you want to take these lists from, which Google Analytics view do you want to take these lists from? The second one, the destination account, is the Google AdWords account that you want to use these lists in. So your Google AdWords account and your Google Analytics account have to be linked, obviously, for this to work as well. So once you've selected those 2, click on the next step and you get to define your audience. So you have 2 choices when you want to define your audience. You can either create a brand new one, or you can import an existing segment. And like I mentioned earlier, you can use those segments within this. And I'm going to take you through both steps, just in case you want to implement either one of these. So the first one, if you click on create new, you get brought to the audience builder. Now this allows you to to create lists, to create these groups of users based on tons of different things. So you can base it on demographics, so the age of the user, their gender, what language do they speak. You can look at the technology that they were using, so were they on a mobile device, were they on a desktop, what browser were they using, all those sorts of things. You can look at behaviour, so once someone was on your site, what did they do? Did they bounce? Did they visit another page? How long did they spend on your website? And you can look at the date of the first session, so when did they first come to the website? And you can look at traffic sources as well, so how did they find your website? Did they come via an AdWords ad? Did they visit your site organically? Or like we saw in Ciaran's example earlier on, did they come via Facebook? So the example I'm going to show you here is for that ad that Ciaran showed you earlier, for that Facebook ad with iClothing. So you go down to traffic sources. The way we've set it here is we've gone to source and we've selected exactly matches Facebook. So this is looking at traffic that's come from Facebook. Then we've gone to the medium and we've clicked on contains and we've entered in CPC. So what that's doing is it's just filtering out any organic Facebook traffic that might have come through. So you just want to look at if you just want to look at the Facebook ads, this is the way to do it. It's really easy. Click apply and that that audience is created. If you want to import the segments, you click on the import segments thing, and then you're just given an option of all the segments that you already have in your Google Analytics account. So be it the likes of your organic traffic, direct traffic, which are already in there, or if you want to create some custom lists like bound sessions or stuff like that, you can use any of those segments, and you literally just click on that and click apply again, and that's all it is. One click, really easy to import those segments. Then once you've got those audiences built out, you go back to your Google Analytics account, click onto your shared library and into your audiences, and there you should just see a list of all your audiences there. So in this example you can see our Facebook CPC audience there, the one that I just showed you how to create, and there's a couple more there which we've created for iClothing as well. So why would you want to implement these? Like, what benefits are you going to get from them? Now there's four big benefits that we can see. Different things that you might want to control much more specifically using these lists. And the first one is budget. And it goes back to the leaky bucket problem that Ciaran spoke about earlier. So if you've got a limited budget and you can't cover every single search on your relevant keywords, it makes sense to make sure that you've got full coverage on the most valuable audience. So if you know that a particular audience is really valuable to you, it makes sense to have full coverage on that audience. And if you're going to miss out anywhere, miss out on the ones who are less likely to convert and who are spending less money. So in this example, this is from Matt Cahenny's, this is our converters versus non-converters list. And as you can see, we're limited by budget, but what we've done is we've made sure that we've got maximum coverage. We're not missing out on any impression share due to our budget for our converters list, as we know that once someone converts once, they're more likely to come back and convert again. They like what we do and they're familiar with the brand, but we also know that these people are more likely to spend more money as well. So we want to make sure that we've got maximum coverage on this audience, and if we are going to miss out on coverage anywhere, it's with the less likely audience to spend money. The second great thing that you can do with these audiences, you can control your ad message. So this is going back to that iClothing example. So just to kind of take you through this, because I think it's a really good example. These people have come via Facebook ads. They've seen our multi-product ads on Facebook. They've seen a dress they've liked. They clicked on that ad, been brought to a landing page. Then they've left. They've come back to Google later and they've searched dresses online, for example. And we've got this ad that says, "Seen a dress you like on Facebook?" It's really specific. We know that they've seen a dress they like on Facebook. And it not only does it make people more likely to click on our ad, but what we found is once they do click on that ad, they're more likely to go on and actually purchase as well. We can control our KPIs. So when a client gives us a KPI, we don't want to have just one KPI for the whole website. When we know that different audiences perform or behave differently on the website. So if we can break down those KPIs even further, then that's what we like to do. So in this example, it's we've tried to break it down into a customer acquisition KPI and a customer retention KPI. Again, because we know these people behave differently and that these lists perform differently. So, for example, we know that once someone converts once, they're more likely to convert again. So maybe it's worth spending a little bit extra money to get them to convert, make that first purchase. Whereas the list of people who have converted before, we know they're more likely to convert again. So it doesn't make sense to have a KPI that we're easily going to beat to target these people. We may as well give ourselves an ambitious KPI that's going to give us a bit of a challenge. The last big thing is to control the targeting of your ads. So as Ciaran spoke about before, previously one of the big criticisms we always would have had with AdWords is that it was all about the words, the keywords that people were searching. And it was really difficult to understand the intent behind that search, who was searching that. And these lists allow us to get much deeper into the user's mindset and to be able to target people based on their past behavior. One of the great things we've thought about using this before is for if you're running a TV or radio ad, for example, we can target. We know that say a TV ad goes live for this date. We can say, okay, we wanted to capture anyone who came to the website for the first time in this audience, because there's a high chance that they saw that they've seen our ad on TV. So these audiences can help all of your offline channels to work harder as well as your online channels. So I'm going to pass you back to Ciaran now, who's going to go through the Day AdWords Changed Forever Part 2.
Thanks again, Rob. So I'm going to talk to you about the day that AdWords Changed Forever Part 2, and that day was September 27th. And that was the day that Google finally joined the first party data party. And this party has already seen Facebook and Twitter present for a good long while, and what it means is basically that Google AdWords now allows first party data to be used in the Google AdWords search platform. First party data refers to email databases, so Facebook and Twitter, for those of you that are using this platform, you'll have seen that you can have custom audiences and tailored audiences in these platforms, whereby you can import your email database and target these people in those platforms. So I suppose Google will have seen this over the last number of months and years, and we've seen the great success that's available there. So it's just been inevitable that Google are going to introduce this into the platform. So September 27th was the date that this was announced. I suppose as a digital marketer in 2015, if you ask me what I would prefer to be available, hoverboards as promised by Marty McFly in Back to the Future, or first party data. As a digital marketer, I'd have to say first party data all day long. So what does it mean? I suppose it allows us to build custom audiences and target these people on Google search. So what we've spoken about up till now has been all related to cookies. So we can build audiences based on cookies through Google Analytics. First party data takes away I suppose the temporal nature of cookies, in that cookies can be deleted and they're not transferable across devices. If you have email databases, it's a much more tangible asset to use, and it makes remarketing lists for search ads that much more powerful. There are a couple of limitations. You need 1,000 email addresses to be able to target people on search. But at Wolfgang Digital, we're always looking for ways around this, and at the moment what we're trying to do is hack the 1,000 email addresses. So what we've done is basically we've taken our newsletter email database, we've stripped it back to about 300 and 400 people. We've imported this into AdWords to see what it looks like. Google tells us it's too small. So what we've started doing is adding fake emails into this database, and the fake emails are coming in the format of joe1@gmail.com, joe2@gmail.com, Mary1, Mary2, so on and so forth. So we're basically trying to get our email list up above that 1,000. So we tried it once, Google came back and told us 600 or 700 in it. Tried it again, got up to just shy of 1,000, and Google weren't letting us through still. So then the last time we said, let's go gung-ho, and we threw in a couple of thousand, and at last Google have told us that we've 2,800 people in our audience, and we're now able to see these people in our AdWords interface, and we'll be able to target these people when they search. So you might ask, what kind of stuff can I do with this? Well, I suppose at Wolfgang we're trying to think about how we'd look at our own database and see what way we could target these people. I suppose one of the things we could do is that we could see our existing customers, and what if they are turning to Google search and searching for a digital marketing agency. This might mean that they're looking to leave Wolfgang, and this is something that we do not want to happen. So this example here shows one of our clients searching for a digital marketing agency. We can show them an ad text and it says, hey you Wolfgang client, step away from the computer and stop looking for another agency. We can add in all our great ad extensions with site links, award-winning agency, your friend, talk to us, you need no one else. We can have our call-out extension saying we're innovative, creative and good-looking. And what we can hope here is that our clients will see this and go, hang on a minute, these guys actually are innovative. Why are we looking to leave Wolfgang Digital? And we can welcome them back into our warm embrace. So that's just one example of how you could use that email database as a custom audience in AdWords and target your actual customers if they are searching for a competitor of yours. Thanks a million for watching. Hopefully you got lots of great insights there. If you want to see more of this, stay tuned to our blog and please do sign up for our newsletter.
Thanks a million.